Love isn't just about the big moments, it's about the everyday choices and the unshakable promise to stand by each other no matter what. But what happens when life throws its toughest challenges your way? Former Navy SEAL Jason Redman and his wife Erica are authors of Mission Invincible Marriage. Their love was tested in the fight to keep their marriage strong through injury, recovery, and the pressures of military life alone. They're here to share their story of how love triumphs overall. Welcome to the both of you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Desiree, thanks for having us. Good morning.
Good
Yeah, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Happy to have you both on. So, first question, what inspired you both to write Mission Invincible Marriage?
So, Jason's first book came out about 10 years ago, and our story's really woven throughout it in his career. But, I was a big part of that.
Mhm.
And so, for the last several years, as he's traveled, one of the main questions he gets and that we get is, what about your wife? What about your kids? How did everybody make it through? So it really got us, really thinking. And so really the audience kind of drove that. And we started working on it several years ago, and took a few years, but getting across the finish line was amazing.
I like that. It was a common interest that people consistently asked you, and now you're like, okay, let's make this a book. And I mean, Jason, as a Navy SEAL, you were trained to face the toughest missions. How does that same mindset maybe apply to your marriage?
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting thing. And some of it, I think both Eric and I, there were many things we did intentionally, and then there were other things that there was overlap from my military training and from a special operations mindset that kind of blended into our marriage. And I think we realized all these things made our marriage so much stronger, and we decided to apply them into the book. And one of the fascinating things is in special operations, we're taught like,
Mhm.
this never quit, no fail marriage or no fail mission mindset. Yet so often we have such a high divorce rate. And I'm like, this is crazy. Why aren't we applying the same principles to our own marriages? So yeah, all of that came into the book, and we really, it'll work for anyone, but obviously a lot of our protector community, fire, law enforcement, and military, we have high divorce rates. And we said, hey, the same tools that made you
Mhm.
successful at your job, we've just translated them into this book, and it can make you successful in your
It
marriage.
makes so much sense how you explain it. And I mean, Erica, supporting a spouse through extreme challenges must have been incredibly tough. I mean, especially with your own life that you have going on. So, what helps you stay strong together?
I always think people, it's nothing groundbreaking. I think we all realize how important communication is,
Yeah.
but I think in these high stress jobs, it's even just that much more important. And I think we also realized how much our foundation and our trust played into that. So, everyone's going to encounter adversity. For us, it came from battlefield injuries, but
Mm.
everybody's going to, sickness, illness, a loss of a family member. Everybody runs into something, and having that foundation of trust and having that communication was key.
Yeah. And I mean, in your book, you talk about the importance of training for a strong marriage. So, what are some key habits couples can practice to build that resilience?
I think some of the big things are coming into it with a we, not me mindset.
Mm.
Oftentimes, couples, they come into a marriage and they continue to live their life the
Yeah.
same way they did before they were married. There's a separation of finances. They're still hanging out with old friends. They're still doing many of the same things. And you don't have to lose yourself. I mean, when we talk about the power of individual identity, that's one of our chapters. But at the same time, it should always go back to we are a team, and everything should go back to that team. So when we train, no different in the SEAL teams, we train to do all these complicated missions. We train in diving operations and close quarters combat and urban warfare, and we have to learn what are the strengths and weaknesses of all our team members. Well, it's the same for your marriage. And as the years go by, understanding what your goals and hopes and dreams are and constantly communicating through those and adapting as we go by. Your hopes and goals or dreams when you're raising kids, they're different when you're navigating educational opportunities and financial crisis, and financial success creates additional levels of complexity that communication needs to happen. So when we talk about training, it's ongoing communication, it's ongoing resetting our goals and hopes and dreams and all of those different things along the way.
Oh my gosh, all helpful information, keeping that team mentality. Both of you, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna let our viewers know where they can get your book. You can find Mission Invincible Marriage, a battle-tested guide to an enduring relationship, wherever books are sold.